Welcome guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. This is the YouTube channel of Institute. My name is Joseph. Uh, I'm glad to be making this video. I'll be making this video very short and straight to the point because I've already made a part one of this video, or let me just say first part of this video. And this video I'm talking about Trendline. I've made a video on this Trendline before, so if you've never watched the first video, just kindly there's gonna be a description on the on this video. You can just kindly click on it, then you're going to see it's going to take you to the first video. You can watch the first video before you watch the second video, or you can watch the second video and watch that video. As a matter of fact, the videos, they are independent, so they can be watched independently because the they all speak about different thing entirely. Okay, so I'm talking about Trendline. So if you know you're new to my channel, please kindly subscribe, please, and make sure you turn on the notification bell so that each time I upload the content, you can know when I upload the content, so you can join and you can watch the video on time. All right. That being said, let's go to this chat. So we'll be talking about Trendline. Trendline. Wow, Trendline is a very important subject when it comes to trading in general. Now, so what is Trendline? Actually, I would say trend lines are lines that helps us to know the direction of a trend and to make proper and profitable trading decisions. So that's what trend lines are. Okay. Now the reason I did not narrow down trend line to just um lines is because actually trend line is beyond line. Okay. Actually trend line, they are they are beyond lines. You can it is not just line, because if it's just line, it is it is not gonna be okay. But they are beyond lines. That is, it is beyond drawing lines, because even without a trend line, I mean, it is beyond helping you to know the direction of a trend, because even without a trend line, you can actually know the direction of a trend. Okay, during the trend line, there are some indicators you can use. Like some people make use of the moving average. You can use the moving average to know the direction of the trend. While you can also look at market structure. Are you getting what I'm saying? So market structure is going to help you understand the direction of where the trend is going to. So ideally, if you just narrow down it and say trend line is just for understanding the trend of the market, then you'll be making a big mistakes, because you don't need trend line to know the direction of the market. There are some things that you can do to know the direction of the market. I hope I am clear on that. So so that being said, I'm doing this because I want to explain this to you, so you can understand how trend lines really works. Okay, so this is a downtrend. I'm drawing a downtrend, a bearish face. So and then I'm going to put a trend line into them. And after this, we are going to look at some live happenings in the chart, so to know if this truly works. Okay, so like I said, that you can make use of this trend line on their own without you using indicators. I mean, without you can make use of trend line or to make proper informed and trading decisions. Okay, Now I'm drawing the trend presently. So this is the trend I'm drawing. This is the trend line that I'm drawing. This is the trend line I'm drawing presently. So so mind you, the market will not be perfect as this. So this I call this a support trend line. I call this support trend line. That means let me just use S dot T. Why I call this that means R dot T. Same with this S dot T. Ah, sorry, I made a mistake. It should be R dot T. This R so resistance trend line, and this is where is support trend line. Okay, this is a resistance trend line, rather resistance trend line, and a support trend line. Okay, so I haven't said this. Now I want you to pay attention here. This so let's assume the market is going up. So how do you trade this? Now this is a trend line. So some will call that, some will say this is a channel. Well, whatever you call it. But all I understand, I know is that I have put the one trend line and two trend line, which you can say it's a channel, but it is a combination of two trend lines. I get what I'm saying. So it helps us to trend line on its own, it is strategy, okay? It's a strategy that you can use them solely on their own, while you can incorporate your strategy into trend line also. So some will say if the market is going up, then you want to look for opportunity to buy. That is, you buy at when the market touch this support trend line, and you take profit when the market touch back at this resistance trend line. The same thing that if it comes here again, this support trend line, if you touch the support trend line, then you buy, then you take profit at this resistance trend line. So the same thing too with here. If the market is going down, they will say you should buy when the market touches the resistance trend line, and take profit when the market touches the support trend line. I get what I'm saying. Now, while I'm not saying that this is not true, but there's a problem with this thing, and there's a flaw. The flaw there is that you don't know when the market is going to reverse. I get what I'm saying. So if you are trading support trend line, resistance trend line that way, what about if it is if at the time that you entered your buy or your sell, that is the time that the market reverses? Probably that's the time that the trend that they're looking at for that it ends. What about that? Have you thought about that? So there's a flaw to this thing, and ideally I know that you cannot be 100% perfect in trading. I get what I'm saying. Your strategy cannot be 100% perfect, but even if it's not 100% perfect, at least make it near perfection. Are you with me? So what I'm saying now is there's a flaw in it, and you're going to lose more money if you should say that you want to trade this way. So I would advise, don't trade this way. Rather, trade the breakout of the trend line, because the market makers, you cannot stereotype them. You don't know where they are going. You don't know where they. The only thing you know is that you only know where they are coming from. You don't know where they are going. And as a trader, what we do is that we trade what the market gives to us. I was that's what we only trade what the market gives to us. So we are looking at the market to give us a blueprint to where it's going, then we can follow the market to where it's going. But because it is the market that leads, that we follow. If you decide to lead, the market will never follow you. So if you lead yourself and you think that you are leading the market, you get lost. And when you look at your back, you see the market is gone. So what is important is that you let the market lead, then you follow the market. So that you can know where the market is going to lead you to. And there's some people that will say that if the market is moving upward, that there's possibility that that the chances that the market is going to break high upward, that the breakout to be upward is very, very high. I get what I'm saying? And if the market is moving down, that the chances that the market is going to break downward is very, very high. Is that true? that's not always true. Always true. You see, this is one of the things that I dislike about some forex mentors and traders out there, that they try to stereotype the market as if the market can be stereotyped, and it is not so. We cannot stereotype the market. We can only, because once we understand that there are people moving this market, there are people moving these assets, that there are people, that it is people that are behind the movement of these things. It is people that are putting money, liquidity into this thing. We understand that they won't not want to lose money. So the only way that they know that they can lose money is if they make their move very open to people to see that, okay, each time I move this way, then the next way I'm gonna go is this way. You know what I'm saying? Then their move is being opened, then they will be losing the market. I mean, they'll be losing money, and will be gaining money, and that's wrong. That's the wrong perspective from them. So they will always want to make money. So in other words, so they try to conceal their moves. So what? So you don't just assume that if the market is not, if the market is giving you, if you are in a bullish trend line phase, and then you expect, then you're just doing your mind that it must break out upward. What if it's not break out downward? Once you enter the trade, you leave it. And same thing goes for a bearish market too. That if the market is going downward, it's going to break below. It's always wrong. Okay. So, but this is what I want to ask you to do. You're not going to place anything. I would advise that you trade the breakout of the trend line, like I said. So after you trade, like, let's say the market is going, then market comes back again, then it comes back. Now you can see that this structure here, this trend line, this stop loss trend line has been broken. So once it breaks, you wait. Allow the market to come back to retest. It will definitely come to retest. And if it does not retest, leave it. I'm saying leave it. Or if it should break out immediately, you want to enter what? I'm not gonna advise that. Allow it to retest close to close to this um, trend line. Once it retests close or on this trend line, then you are looking at entering a sell, because it has broken to the upside. Then you are looking at selling down here until until the market gets here. Okay. But if it should break upward, the same thing apply. So once it break upward, you allow it to break, then you come back for the test, then continue upward. I get what I'm saying. So it's going to continue upward. So your over here, your stop loss will be around here, around this level. Why here, your stop loss will be around this level. So if you should break upward, so will your take profit be? You want to calculate the pips of this level to this level to know your take profit, so you can then set your take profit. Okay. Same thing with a sell. If the market should break above, then allow it to come back to the test. So once it's retest, then it keeps on moving up and moving up. Then once it retest, your stop loss is going to be around this level. But if it should break below this, then allow it to come back on the test. Then it will keep on moving down and moving down, moving down. You know what I'm saying? So now you understand what markets, I mean, what trend line really is. It's as simple as that. So once you draw the trend line, you just keep an open mind, okay? That you want to trade the direction of the trend line. You know that you want to trade, but you don't know the direction you are going to enter. So what you want to do is that you want to wait for the market makers to give you their hands, to show you their pattern, to reveal their direction to you. Then you can then trade in line with where they are going. Then you can then follow them by through the charts. Okay. So only through this can you make money. Okay. Now I would now let's go to the chart and see some practical examples of trend lines. Okay. Let's move on to the charts. Okay, guys, this is good 1 hour time frame, and I would say please when drawing your trend line, draw it from the 1 hour time frame. I mean, if you are making use of it as a as a personal as a strategy, okay, please draw from the 1 hour time frame. Okay, please draw from the 1 hour time frame. I can't stress from the 1 hour time frame upward. So you want to draw from 1 hour time frame upward. You don't want to. Now another thing is that it is okay if it should cut across the week. Okay, it's okay. There's no problem in it. If the trend line should cut across the week, but it is not okay if it crosses across the body. But the week, it's okay if it cuts across the week. You can see that mine cut across the week, but not the body. So now there's no specific way of doing the trend line. Okay, personally, to me, I just felt that I know that I don't like my trend line to cut across the week. Okay, I do not. So we have so many laws and doctrine, but I'll stick to this one because this one suits me best. I don't work from so you don't no and another thing is the touches. Some say 3 touches, some say 2 touches. I go for 2 touches. Okay, I don't go for 3 touches. Minimum of 3 touches. I mean minimum of 2 touches for me. I consider that as a trend line. Okay. So that's that being said already. Let's now this is good, right? This is good on normal time frame. And look at what gold is doing. Look at gold gives us a lower low, right? A lower low, a lower low, a lower low. Then once it gets here, then we have a break of trend line of the trend line. Market moves up, then comes back again to retest this level. Then at this level, comes back here. So you enter at this candle, then your take profit will be around this level over here. And look at your take profit was it one. So you have your take profit here. Your stop loss is going to be around this level. Are you with me on this? So this is basically this how to draw, how to trade your trend line. It is so easy without so Azu free. Okay, let's look at this. You should also look at trading uh, micro trend line also. So there's another trend line I see here. Now this is for a sell. So like I said, the drawing I made on trend line, you cannot come to the chart and expect it to be that perfect. Okay, so you must refine the the more you find them, the more you look for the trend line, the easier it gets for you to see. You must train your eyes to see them. Okay, so this is a trend line. Look at now look at market was giving us an highs and highs and highs and highs. Then the market comes back here, break structure, comes back here. Then look at it was a sell all around. You want to take a profit here. Your stop loss will want to be around this level. Okay, so that's that guys about trend line. Look at even here again, we have another vertical trend line. If you should draw it, sorry, if you should draw it, this is a trend line. Market market then breaks this structure, then it's a sell. So this how trend line really works. Okay, the you can use trend line. Look, guys, please, I want to say this to you. Please don't let anybody deceive you about saying that this one does not work. I have those that only make use of trend line trading strategy just to trade. That is all they use. Trend line. I'm telling you, and they are making their profit day in, day out. Okay. I have those that they only make use of support and resistance. And that's the reason I don't like condemning or criticizing a strategy. What you really need is you really need something that what works best for you. That's why I don't like the way Steve Muru, the BTMM trader, the way he criticizes um this retail price action, support and resistance, supply and demand, calling them craps. they're crabs. Actually, they're not crabs. They might be crabs to him because probably he has tried it before, it failed, it does not work for him. So probably you might have tried it before and does not work for you. Does not make those um those those strategy crabs. Okay, it's because they don't work for you. Does not mean that they are crabs. I have people that trade just merely using Trendline to trade. This Trendline breakout, that's what they use, and they make their money. Support and resistance breakout, that's what they use, and they make their money. They are out of the market. So you can use this as it works if you are disciplined enough, and then you build a discipline strategy around it. You see that this thing works. Even what I just teach you now, just for free. If you should practice it and then you discipline yourself in it, you see that this thing works. So I've shown you some examples here, just not quite long. This one example, this another example. I showed you this another example. Okay, this is another example over here too. Even this one right here, this is another example. So there are lots of look at this. Is even another example. Trend line. All these things works. These are trend lines. This